Hello coloring friends, today I will show you my all completed coloring pages for the month of May. I have to say that May turned out to be the most productive month during my whole coloring history. I managed to color 19 pages, just a few of them very simple, and that's an absolute record. Of course, I had more time because we were still in lockdown, and I believe I started coloring more quickly than before, more speedy, and I think I was in creative mood. All three came together, and that's the result. And let me start from the simplest works. One from Mandala Design Handbook. This is a very simple work. These color pencils mandala, and that's this mandala dedicated to all colorists. And two more simple works I'm sorry, from the mindfulness coloring book, and one is this spring mandala, and one more multicolored pattern done with markers. Sometimes I'm being asked about this book. Do I mention in the comment section on the flip through of this book on my channel, the publisher of this book, but still people asking. It's Arcturus Holdings Limited. Arcturus. We'll show closer. You still can find it online. Okay. That's another book that I am asked about from time to time. This is Russian edition, but original edition is French, and it's Metamorphoses by Hachette, Art Therapy, Hachette. Still, you can find it on Amazon UK and Amazon.com, I think. And I colored 4 pages in this book in May. First one is this one, dedicated to start of summer. I wrote summer in Russian here and used so many different bright colors because it's summer. And then another picture is this lion. Everything is done with colored pencils in this book of different brands, mostly budget. Then I colored these 3 dragon rings. I used only 3 colors for these illustrations. It was fun to mix them together and to get new colors. And the last one is this cute beast, very bright and kind of shiny. I'm glad that I colored so many illustrations in this book, finally. Another small book, Escape to Shakespeare's World, and I completed this double spread with Ophelia. And here again I used only pencils and little bit of white gel pen to cover black lines here, and all the rest pencils of different budget brands again. Then in May I started this Untouched Coloring Heaven magazine, Cat Special, and I did this page with this pretty fashionable kitten, and here I used markers and pencils and Derwent Intense for the background, fine liners for her dress. As you can see, very small details on her dress. She looks pretty. Actually, I colored her as myself, self-portrait. Then I colored in two of my Chinese coloring books. One is this one, Shanghai Jing, and not that very exciting illustration, this one, but once again I wanted to try to use watercolors. I did background with watercolors. It looks better than I did before, but still not to my satisfaction. But it's okay. And I used pearly watercolor for these splashes, and pencils for the unicorn. And another picture from this Chinese coloring book. It was this girl. I was not that much fond of this illustration. It was a sketchy style drawing, like you could see hair here, and at the same time you could see her eye, and she had this big bust. Here I didn't like that, so I covered it and I drew her hair longer to cover that part that I didn't like. And then I've got this idea to make her as Queen of Fire and Ice. So she combines in her image fire and ice elements, like fire collar, and this I drew myself, fire crown, and this icy jewelry and part of her dress. I believe these are sleeves, also icy, and I did like frosty window background, and I'm happy how everything turned out, how she looks now, and that was actually fun. Sometimes illustrations that you didn't like at first, then they become your favorites to your surprise. Then I started Jewelry Box finally by Hannah Carlson. I did one double spread. It looks okay, but I'm not too happy about it. I don't know why. Like, I like how the flowers look, I like how the house look, and the sky, but all together, I don't know, something bothers me. Not happy. Like with the Chinese girl, when I finished it, I was like, ah, I'm happy. And with this one, I finished and I was like, yeah, okay. Oh yeah, sometimes it's like this. You finish coloring and then you're not excited about the result. Another work from Just That Color Circus by Sarah Walsh. It's a very cute and fun book. A bit childish illustrations, but sometimes I feel like coloring something like this, and just for fun, for relaxation. And in May I colored this athlete guy with tattoos. I used pencils and markers, that's all. The next illustration is from Art Therapy Julie coloring books. It also, the original publisher is Hachette again, Art Therapy Hachette. And this was same case. Like at first I didn't like this illustration. It didn't seem interesting to me. I just tried different techniques to coloring these stones, and that's all. But it bugged me that this page is not finished, and in May I completed it, and now I like it. It looks much more pretty than when it wasn't colored, so I'm glad with this illustration. Then this lovely book from Rix and Dennis, Rhinestones, Furs and Feathers, and I completed my second illustration in this book, this Martini Lady, everything done with pencils. This book, because the paper is not that good, and on the other side there are also like smallish illustrations, but very nice. I like them too, so I don't want to use anything that could possibly ruin this page too. So only pencils and just white gel pen for the glass, that's all. Illustrations in this book are very sketchy, but it's okay with me, and I really enjoy coloring in this book. Another one is from Karin coloring book, Girls from Around the World, something like this. It was my first completed page from this book. I colored this Mexican girl. Here I used a Derwent Artist. Surprisingly, they worked very good on this paper. And Derwent Artist and Derwent Pro Color, and soft pastel background. Really love this book. I love coloring costumes, and there's a lot of portraits in this book that I'm going to enjoy. And then I colored in Joanna Basford's book too, Magical Jungle. It was for Sammy's coloring checklist challenge. I colored this parrots page in Patrick Giacomelli style from Instagram. It looks very much like his work, but I didn't want to copy, so if you look closely you will notice differences. But on the whole, yeah, it looks like his style. That's what I wanted, and it was fun experience. I knew some tips from him in coloring flowers, and this yellow stuff I also like how it looks. It's very simple. It's made with highlighter. Then I did one illustration in Cat's coloring book. I color quite often in this book. I wish I could finish it one day. And in May I colored this one. It was originally like Cat 3, but I made him Cheshire Cat. I'm not sure whether I pronounced Cheshire correctly, but I believe you can guess who it is, even if I say it wrong. I used pearly acrylic paint for the background, and I wrote smile here with glitter gel pen, and also same glitter gel pen on his eyes. And finally, the last illustration of May. No, I think I forgot to show you my parrot girl. This was for my monthly color along. It's Julia Spiri Whimsical Wonders. I colored this parrot girl and used markers, pencils and Derwent Inktense for the background. Almost forgot to show you. And so now the final page of May from Worlds Within Worlds by Kirby Rosanes. And I did this page with moon. I like color combinations that I've chosen for this page, and it's done with pencils and acrylic paint for the background, and the stars are done with gel pen. I'll show you closer. I like how this this effect, like combination of two colors on the trees. And this next element, the turtle, I made it in different colors little bit to see it straight away. Yeah, that was it. That was a lot of completed pages. I feel quite happy with the result, and hopefully I will feel in no less creative mood in June, but we'll see. And that's all for today. Thank you for staying with me. Bye.